Some good stuff. That's some good stuff.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're all having a great day today. Happy New Year's to a new year of films, plenty of stuff to go through this year. I'll be very involved with a bunch of movies that come out this year. And so for my first plan for this year to start it off, we got my top 10 anticipated movies of 2024. So this means that these are going to be movies that I'm going to be looking forward to this year. I have high interest in. I cannot wait to watch it. Some for certain reasons, and then there's one of them on this list for a certain reason that I will get to when we get there. But anyways, guys, if you could leave a like and subscribe, and let me know what your top 10 anticipated movies of this year are going to be in the comments. All right, so anyways, without further ado, here we go. By the way, if you haven't seen it, I just ranked every single movie that I watched in 2023. I just posted that a couple weeks ago, so please, guys, when you have a chance, please check that out. Coming in at number 10 for the top 10 anticipated list, we have Bob Marley, One Love. I'm not a huge Bob Marley fan, but I do enjoy his music. I have some of his songs on my Spotify playlist, and I do like reggae in general. So I do like this movie. I like the trailer. It seems that whoever is playing as Bob Marley is very capable enough to persuade the audience. His portrayal of the singer, and I think that it'll do a very good job of going into like his backstory, because there was a lot of involvement with certain tragedies that happened in his life, and of course, we all know he died very young. I hope that this movie does very well in the box office. I think it will. There's millions and millions of fans of this singer today. He was a very influential person in this world about peace and love and everything like that. So that is my number 10 for this list, of which is Bob Marley, One Love. Ooh, yeah. Coming in at number 9, we have Dune Part 2. I saw the first Dune, I think it was, what was it, 2021 or 22? I forgot which year it was. But I saw the first part. I've seen the originals before. I even read a little bit of the books. Dune is, I've never really been that interested in it, but throughout the list of all the movies that were coming out, and I saw this one, this kind of piqued my interest a bit more. So I did like the first Dune. I like Timothy Chalamet. He's a good lead actor. I still have to watch Wonka. I still have not watched that yet. But he's a good actor. What the story they try to tell with how there's this specific resource in the sands of this planet, and there's everybody's trying to control it. It's like one of the most valuable things in the world, and how there's a bunch of war. You got this emperor, everything like that. I think Dune is especially one of the greatest sci-fi, parts of the genre. Those films, the books. It's one of the most influential science fictions out there. So coming in at number 8, and this may be a bit of surprise, but is going to be Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. And the reason why this is on this list is not a good reason, okay? I really can't wait to shit on it again, because last year I completely shat on this movie, um, except for the fact that I enjoy the idea, I support the idea of turning child-friendly family movie stories into a horror kind of spin. I support that idea 100%. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. And for anybody that had seen this movie last year, everybody knows it's a piece of dog shit. This movie probably should have never even been made, but it fairly did enough for what the budget was in this movie. It made about, I think, $3 million out of $100,000 budget. So, and I've seen early images of it already. It looks better for what they're doing now because of the money that they got from the last film. In Pooh's cosmetics look better. There's a better general idea of what they're probably doing next. So I hope that what they do this time is give us something a lot better. Give us good kills. Give us a funny, clever way of how they turn Winnie the Pooh elements into a horror movie. Do something clever with that this time, and give us actual good characters, not stupid ass Christopher Robin who didn't know what the hell to do like every 5 seconds. And yeah, just do something clever with it. That's all. You guys got $3 million. You can do something with it. But again, it's on this list again because I know it probably won't be that good, but because I've seen how the studio has responded to critics and they're not very professional on how they respond. So I'm anticipating to see it because I just want to shit on it again. Coming in at number 7 is a little bit of a surprise for me, but Kung Fu Panda 4. Now, I do like animated movies. My favorite movie of 2022 was Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. That animation was stellar and stuff like that. And so now we have the next DreamWorks movie, which is Kung Fu Panda 4. And I've seen the trailer. It looks very interesting. It's cool that they kind of brought back a bit of Tai Lung. Don't really know if they're going to do much with him. I think he's just there just to get his powers taken away if you had seen the trailer, and that's about it. But it's cool. We got a new villain, this chameleon bitch, and then we've got Poe returning. He is learning more about rather than less fighting. It's more about what the Dragon Warrior is really supposed to do, which is find inner peace for however long. And I think that they'll do a good job with tying that story element to Pooh's battle with this chameleon. I don't know how they'll do that. I don't know how it relates to that, but I'm sure we'll find out. And I don't know if this will be the last one. So I'm certainly excited. I've seen the first 2 films. I still got to finish the third one. I saw like half of the third one. But I do like Kung Fu Panda. The second one is probably the best one in the whole franchise. And so, yeah, I think, Kung Fu Panda 4 will be a very good movie. Coming in at number 6, we have Deadpool 3 with, Ryan Reynolds and, of course, Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine. If that doesn't give you a reason enough to watch this movie, I don't know what will. Now, of course, we all know that Marvel has certainly gone a lot downhill since probably Spider-Man No Way Home and the Avenger movies. Marvel has this really, really bad issue with just bad writing, just quality over quantity. Or excuse me, other way around. But of course, there is still a lot of promise with Deadpool 3 because, Ryan Reynolds is a great lead actor. He's probably one of the best actors in this whole MCU. In Deadpool and Hugh Jackman, and this is kind of like the crossover that we wanted for like a long time. So Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be an interesting relationship to watch because Deadpool always talks shit about him. So it's going to be very awesome to watch. It's on my top 100 movies of all time, the original Deadpool. So I really hope that the MCU, which I don't think it will. I think Deadpool 3 will do very fine. Coming in at number 5, we're going to have Terrifier 3. I love Terrifier. I think he's a really cool, awesome villain. He's kind of like the new face of horror right now. Art the Clown, I think he's very scary for what he does. The actor is very good with him. And I seen Terrifier 2. It was a bloody awesome movie. If you're a slasher fan, you just love these types of movies where you can just sit back and just watch all this slashing. And Terrifier is some of the most brutal stuff I've ever seen. Like, I know the original movie, he saws this girl in half and she's making it. It's just like, oh my gosh, like these movies are some of the brutal. And I'm a huge fan of the Saw films, so I've seen brutal. And these movies they just go over the top with how brutal they are. I believe that it's going to be taking place during some Christmas time. So a bit of a spin there on how Art the Clown will be probably like a Christmas kind of thing. I don't know how they're going to use the Christmas setting for this type of film. If they do, hopefully we'll get some creative like Christmas kills. Like, I don't know, he runs over people with his sleigh or something like that. So, some crazy ass shit that we've never seen before. So, and I think that these filmmakers will do that because they've certainly done that within these last 2 movies. So, coming in at number 4, we have Beetlejuice 2. I love the original Beetlejuice. It is one of the best movies ever made. We've got Michael Keaton coming back as the man himself. And of course, we've got the lead actress who was the girl. I forget the actress's name, but she's coming back as well. We got a lot of OG characters coming back. I'm very curious on how they're going to continue this story of Beetlejuice and how he's kind of around the dead and all that stuff like that. But it's going to be really awesome to see like kind of the new age era digital setting of this whole undead world that was around in the first film. So I can't wait to see what it looks like now, how it's going to be. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cheeky references to the original film and a lot of characters from there. So I know it's going to be an awesome, fun film. So I can't wait to see it. And for a lot of Beetlejuice fans out there, I'm sure you guys are ready for that too. Coming in at number 3, we have the new Robert Eggers movie that's coming out this year called Nosferatu, which is based off the original Nosferatu vampire, but of course it's going to be told through Robert Eggers. The Lighthouse that he made back in 2019 is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the performance of Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson and the story of them losing their mind while they were in the lighthouse. So I said, whenever Robert Eggers comes out with his next film, it's going to be so good, and I cannot wait. So, and of course, based on the information that we have on the movie already, I already am super excited. So it's my number 3, right? So Nosferatu, of course, is a classic vampire. We have Bill Skarsgård, who is actually playing as Nosferatu. And for the 9% of you out there who don't know who that is, that guy who played Pennywise back a few years ago. So we have Bill Skarsgård, and then we have Willem Dafoe, and then we've got some other major cast characters as well. But this just screams like it just screams at me like I'm the audience for this. These actors, I need to see this. So, so any of you guys who are Robert Eggers fan, you know that he has a very, very strange way of telling stories. But it's so unique and it's so stylish and of course, anything with Willem Dafoe and Robert Eggers mixed together, I need to watch it again. So this is going to be insane. Me and my friend are going to love this. Coming in at number 2, and I really debated if I wanted this at my number 1 or number 2, but the number 1 I had to put it at number 1. But for number 2 is going to be the next Saw film, Saw 11 or whatever they're going to call it. Because I have no idea. We don't have any information on this film at all, like no story. All we know is that Tobin Bell and Shawnee Smith are going to be in this movie again. And it's going to be a sequel to Saw X. The only thing that they've really talked about is how they are planning to stay on in Mexico since it's going to be a direct sequel to Saw X. And all we've seen really is just the main poster that they posted on social media. So there's really not much to go off on what I have to say, like what I'm looking forward to. But I will say that, like, of course, I've said many times on this channel already, I am a huge Saw fan. The original Saw is my favorite horror movie of all time. And Saw X was a brilliant, just recapture back to the franchise. I liked Spiral, I liked Jigsaw, and I was really sad to see both those movies not do well. But of course, they had their issues. And Saw X, of course, is not the most perfect Saw movie, but I think that it really did a good job at making John the protagonist of this story, even though you can call bullshit on that, on sympathizing for him. But they did a good job with it. So I'm really happy to see that we're back in a time where we're doing yearly Saw movies again. And I think that the writers have got their stuff together. They know what to do now. They know their mistakes. And we saw that pay off with Saw X. It did very well in the box office and got highly praised by critics. So I can't wait to see this movie. I think it's coming out in September. So we'll see what they do with the story. But unfortunately, and Saw 11 would have been my number 1 for this list. But this movie, I'm super excited for. This movie I'm looking forward to out of everything this year. And that is going to be the second Joker film, Joker Folie, however you say that. So I love Joker. Oh my gosh. Joaquin Phoenix's performance in that movie is just truly unforgettable. I used to binge watch that movie like almost every week when it came out. So Joker I couldn't believe they actually the news came out saying that they were filming this. And we got a bunch of crazy on-set images. We got, Joaquin Phoenix back to his like skinny shape. We got, Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, which I didn't like the idea of first. But then I saw the images, I saw the leaked footage of them on the staircase. I'm like, holy shit, like maybe this could work. Like maybe I'm actually really interested in it. And I very am. And we've got so much more stuff coming out about it, like more news about it, more images, you know, and so I really can't wait to see how all of this goes down. The only thing I will say I'm worried about is if they kind of retcon the whole ending of the first film. So the ending of the film was supposed to make you believe that everything was kind of in his head, but at the same time, it still left you guessing if everything that did happen actually happened, and which was good. You know, that's kind of like how they did The Shining, and which is still debated today, like what's really going on and what isn't going on. So I'm curious onto if they actually build that up more with this new film, or if they just completely change that whole idea of that ending. But either way, I'm super excited for this movie. This is my highly anticipated movie for me this year. I cannot wait to talk about this movie when it eventually comes out. I believe it's October. And hopefully, you know, we get some Oscars going with this movie again. So I'm sure it will. Todd Phillips is directing it again. So yeah, I mean, this is it. Well, everybody, that's my top 10 anticipated movies of this year, 2024. We've got a bunch of other movies, of course, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other movies to talk about. But this is my top 10 that I want to talk about the most, that I cannot wait to see the most. And of course, I don't expect my list to be the same as yours. So please let me know in the comments, guys, what movies you are looking forward to, because I want to talk about all of them, guys. So welcome to a new year, you sorry sacks of shit, and goodbye. I'll see you guys next time.
That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff.